Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 sports trades that caused controversy and ended up bringing about some serious drama.
Walker was traded to the Vikings for 5 players and as many as 7 draft choices.
Number 10, Neymar to PSG. Money has had an undeniable effect on the game of football since its earliest days, but there's no question that things have been getting out of hand in recent years.
Barcelona Football Club has given one of its star players, Neymar, permission to discuss a world record transfer deal with Paris Saint-Germain.
The frankly insane €222 million release clause that Neymar had in his Barcelona contract would have usually been seen as a not-for-sale sign a decade ago. However, these days, things are a little different.
It's unfortunate. I'm sad that some people think that way. I am not a guy who's motivated by money, but by happiness and challenges.
PSG, who had financial backing and a desire to build a legit franchise, met the €222 million target, bringing Neymar to France in a deal that was totally out of this world. Money like that brings unrealistic expectations, and it's pretty fair that it left us all with a very uncertain feeling about where football was headed.
Believe it or not, this is not an easy decision.
Number 9, Patrick Waugh trade. Sometimes a fallout with your coach can be the final nail in the coffin.
Patrick Waugh just went over and said something to Corey, and I'm not so sure what it was, but he went right to him. That'll be even more of a story tomorrow.
Patrick Waugh had a very public feud with Mario Tremblay, demanding a trade away from the Montreal Canadiens. They sent him off to the Colorado Avalanche, and it was unanimously seen as one of the most dim-witted decisions imaginable.
True to his word, Réjean Houle wasted little time in trading Patrick Waugh, acquiescing as well to Waugh's wishes to be dealt to a contending club.
Early predictions that Tremblay would regret his actions were proven right several times over when Waugh went on to win 2 Stanley Cups in his new home, while Montreal failed to make any real impact. A legendary trade disaster.
The Colorado Avalanche are the Stanley Cup champions!
Number 8, Tevez's cross-city defection. There are few rivalries in football quite as ferocious as the divide between Manchester United and Manchester City.
This is a clash steeped in history.
Though United were generally the dominant force in the 20th and some of the 21st century, an influx of money has brought City right to the forefront of European football. These days, the roles are almost entirely reversed, with United now struggling to make ends meet.
Do you want to stay at Manchester United?
Very difficult.
So in 2009, when Carlos Tevez, who was initially beloved by United fans until a rift with boss Sir Alex Ferguson decided to leave and sign with Manchester City, it caused huge tension. To make matters worse, Tevez was a big success, helping City win their first Premier League title since 1968.
The blue moon has risen! Just like a dream in their hearts! City are champions! And they did it in the most staggering fashion.
Number 7, the curse of the Bambino. You don't just trade Babe Ruth and expect to get away with it scot-free.
The curse of the Bambino started. The Red Sox sold Babe Ruth to the Yankees for $100,000. Ruth, of course, won 4 World Series with the Yanks, hit 659 home runs with them. It took the Red Sox 86 years to win their next World Series.
Red Sox owner Harry Frazee obviously didn't heed any warnings he may have heard and offloaded the greatest player of his generation to the Yankees for a reported $100,000 plus a $300,000 loan.
He cared more about his theater ventures than he did his baseball team, and saw a chance to get a lot of cash and had to go with it.
The trade had the knock-on effect of catapulting the Yankees into a run of dominance, while Boston didn't win a World Series for 86 years. The curse of the Bambino is what they called it, but in reality, the trade on face value was a truly poor decision that totally baffled fans and analysts alike.
Frazee comes out and gives a very lengthy defense of his actions here. The Yankees are taking quite a gamble, is one of his quotes. It's 26 World Championships to 0 since the Yankees took that big gamble. So this hasn't gone well since that deal went down.
Number 6, Luka Doncic traded from the Mavericks to the Lakers.
Where were you all on Saturday night when the most shocking trade in NBA history came down? I had to make sure Shams didn't get hacked. We're going to cover every angle of this shocking deal that sent Luka Doncic to Los Angeles for Anthony Davis.
This was truly a move that no one saw coming. There was no telegraphing to this one. The Mavericks boss, Nico Harrison, was supposedly ready to ship Luka Doncic off, despite him being the star and future of his franchise.
Everybody was surprised, so you can imagine how surprised I was. I was almost asleep, so when I got a call, I had to check it was April 1st. I didn't really believe it at first.
The Lakers, who clearly had one eye on the aging LeBron James longevity, decided to trade Anthony Davis for Luka in early 2025. The Mavericks claimed that they had concerns about his work ethic and attitude and hoped to improve their defense with this move. However, NBA fans almost unanimously agreed that the Lakers got themselves the deal of the century with this one.
I don't think you trade a guy like Luka Doncic if he's unhappy. You try to make him happy. I think you trade him when you're unhappy. And so there was something about the management that probably they were unhappy with that made this happen.
Number 5, Wilt Chamberlain to Lakers. To say that Wilt Chamberlain was ahead of his time would be an understatement.
Chamberlain immediately asserted his dominance, averaging 38 points and 27 rebounds. As a rookie, he had climbed to the top of the league.
The NBA record book in his heyday was basically just a collection of things that Wilt had managed to achieve. He had so much power over the Philadelphia 76ers that he basically managed to pressure them into trading him to the Los Angeles Lakers.
He said, I want to be traded, and I want to be traded to a West Coast team. And we got Darrell Imhoff and Archie Clark and Jerry Chambers for Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt went to the Lakers.
This might not sound that odd to the modern basketball fan, but Wilt's actions marked the beginning of a new era. Analysts worried that players leveraging their ability against their own team would become commonplace, and they were certainly right. Chamberlain was a pioneer in many ways, on and off the court.
And Wilt looks at the reporter and said, no one controls Wilt.
Number 4, Figo's Clásico backstab. There are many rivalries in the sporting world that are never going to disappear. The collision of Spanish footballing giants Real Madrid and Barcelona is such a huge event in and of itself that they call each game El Clásico. The meeting of these two teams is often football played at its very highest level. And while a few players have represented both sides, few have done as dramatically as Luis Figo.
The definitive point in his time as a player came when he left Barca for their eternal rivals, Real Madrid.
When Figo transferred to Madrid, it was the ultimate betrayal, and the fans took it extremely personally. For years, the Portuguese winger was routinely pelted with projectiles during matches, with one fan even throwing a pig's head in his direction. One of the most dramatic transfer U-turns of all time.
In the end, I think it's the same in every area and every profession. When you don't feel sufficiently acknowledged, and I don't mean by the fans by this, but rather the club, you aren't 100% committed, and that means you consider a change when another offer comes to you.
Number 3, Herschel Walker trade. Trades are always a gamble to some extent, but you really have to do your best to stack the odds in your favor.
It is mind-boggling that we were able to make this deal. One owner said it's a great train robbery.
When the Minnesota Vikings basically gave up an unprecedented haul of players and draft picks to get their hands on Herschel Walker, they were putting a lot of their eggs in one basket.
Herschel could be on his way to the Super Bowl, while the Cowboys could be on their way to the toilet bowl.
For the Dallas Cowboys, it was too good a deal to refuse. Walker unfortunately failed to live up to expectations, while the Cowboys used the boatload of resources that were handed to them to totally rebuild. This led them to a huge run of success and acclaim, making this one of the most lopsided deals in NFL history.
The fundamentals behind the trade were draft picks for the future to build for the Dallas Cowboys, but at the same time, at the very same time, have players involved that could contribute immediately in 1989 for the Dallas Cowboys.
Number 2, Diego Maradona to Napoli. Diego Maradona holds the distinction of breaking the world transfer record not once but twice, which makes sense because he is Diego Maradona after all. In 1984, when Napoli decided to shell out a huge sum of money to pry the Argentinian away from Barcelona, there were rumors of mafia involvement. Bringing a player like Maradona to Italy would do wonders for business, and so the transfer left many with an uneasy feeling. No matter where the money came from, though, Diego delivered the goods, becoming a living legend in Serie A. It was a larger-than-life deal for a larger-than-life player. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Alex Rodriguez to the Yankees, the move that reshaped baseball economics.
I've come to a point in my career where winning is the most important thing. Aside from all personal accolades, I think I've done a lot there, but winning is the most important thing.
Mo Johnston's Old Firm twist, the ultimate betrayal within Glasgow city limits.
It was an absolute volcano erupting, not just in Scottish football, throughout the football world.
Deshaun Watson to the Cleveland Browns, picked up by the Browns while dealing with several allegations.
When this trade is completed, Watson is expected to get a 5-year, $230 million contract that is fully guaranteed.
LeBron James, the decision, egotistical spectacle taken to a whole new level.
LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
John Robertson jumped ship, the transfer that caused a rift between an iconic manager and former assistant duo.
Brian and I think you can play. He dangled the carrot to me. It was like a light bulb switching on. And I was never at the team from then until 1983.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Wayne Gretzky trade. Wayne Gretzky is a legend with no equal in the world of hockey.
Wayne Gretzky, the Great One, transcended accolades achieved on the ice to become a cultural icon with an immeasurable impact on hockey.
On top of that, he was a symbol of Canadian pride and excellence, a unifying figure in the NHL who had accomplished truly exceptional things for the Edmonton Oilers by the time the 80s were wrapping up. So when the Oilers decided to trade him out of the country to the Los Angeles Kings, it was seen as a major betrayal of Canadian hockey culture.
They traded him from Edmonton to Los Angeles. The whole nation got caught up in this. And people still haven't forgiven Peter Pocklington for doing that deed.
Though he was credited with popularizing hockey in LA, he didn't win a Stanley Cup there, in spite of his tremendous performances. Had he stayed in Canada, things might have played out a lot differently, or at least that's what most Canadian fans will tell you.
It's the biggest trade in sports history. He wasn't a rookie, he wasn't over the hill, he was in his prime. He had set records that no one in any team sport had ever set.
But what sports trading scandal shook you to your core? Be sure to let us know in the comments below.